You are sitting at home right now. You are watching this video alone. You understand exactly what I am saying. You know thousands of English vocabulary words. You know the complicated grammar rules. You have watched hundreds of English videos before this one. But let me ask you a very painful question. If I told you to pause this video right now, if I told you to look at the wall and speak English for 1 minute, could you do it easily? Or would your throat suddenly tighten? Would your mind go completely blank? I know exactly how that feels. It is incredibly frustrating. You feel like a prisoner inside your own mind. You have all this knowledge locked inside your brain, but your mouth completely refuses to cooperate. Why does this happen? Why do you freeze? It is because of a hidden, toxic enemy. Your enemy is not a poor memory. Your enemy is the silent translator inside your head. Whenever someone asks you a question, a slow process starts. You hear the English words. You drag them into your native language. You think of an answer in your native language. Then, you try to translate that answer back into English. You check the grammar rules. You check the verb tense. You search for the perfect vocabulary word. It is a heavy, exhausting process. It takes far too much time. And while you are doing all this heavy thinking, the other person is just staring at you, waiting. By the time you finally speak, the moment is gone. You feel slow. You feel embarrassed. You tell yourself, I am just not good at speaking. But that is a massive lie. You do not have a language problem. You have a translation problem. You must destroy this habit today. You must learn a brand new rule. Don't translate, just speak. But how do you actually do this? Society tells you another huge lie. They say you need an English-speaking partner. They say you must live in the US or the UK to become fluent. They say you cannot improve if you are alone in your room. I am here to tell you they are entirely wrong. You do not need an expensive tutor. You do not need a foreign friend. You only need yourself. Improving your English by yourself is not just possible. It is actually the fastest way to grow. And think about it carefully. When you practice at home alone, there is zero pressure. There is no fear of judgment. There is nobody waiting for you to make a silly mistake. You are completely free. Your bedroom is your safest training ground. Today, we will change how you practice English forever. This is day 1 of your real journey. We will shift your brain from passive reading mode to active speaking mode. I am going to give you a powerful daily system. A system you can execute entirely by yourself. You will learn how to bypass the slow translator. You will learn to push your ideas forward instantly. Even if your grammar is slightly messy. Even if your vocabulary is basic. Because messy English is always better than silent English. The goal is not to be a perfect dictionary. The goal is instant mental reaction. It is time to unlock all the words trapped inside you. It is time to finally hear your own voice out loud. Are you ready to take control today? Then let's stop translating and let's start speaking. Let us talk about the biggest myth in language learning. When you watch a fluent speaker, what do you see? You see words flowing easily like water. You see absolute confidence. You see someone who never stops to think. It looks beautiful. It looks like pure magic. Many learners look at this and feel very sad. They think, I do not have that special talent. They believe some people are just born with better brains. I want you to delete this thought from your mind. There is no magic pill. There is no secret DNA. Fluency is not a special gift from the universe. Speaking a language is a simple, mechanical process. It is exactly like training a physical muscle. Let me give you a very clear example. Think about the first time you rode a bicycle. You were terrified. You were shaking. You had to think about your balance. You had to think about pushing your feet. It required all your mental energy just to move forward. But what happens a year later? You jump on the bike and you just ride. You talk to your friends. You look at the trees. You do not think about the pedals at all. Did the bicycle change? No. Did your legs change? No. Your brain simply became highly efficient at the process. Speaking English works in the exact same way. Right now, you treat English like a dusty museum. You collect hundreds of shiny new vocabulary words. You organize them neatly in your grammar notebooks. You open the book and admire them every single day, but you never take them out and build anything. Language is not a collection. Language is a construction. You have to build sentences in real time, and this brings us to a powerful truth you must accept. Your speaking muscles do not live in your mouth. Your lips and your tongue are just the speakers. Your brain is the real athlete. If the athlete sits on the sofa all day, the athlete becomes weak. This is exactly why watching English movies is not enough. Listening to podcasts for 3 hours is not enough. Listening is a wonderful habit. It is very important. But listening is completely passive. Listening to English is like watching a fitness video. Watching a man lift heavy weights will never make your arms stronger. Your eyes will learn the movements. Your brain will understand the exact technique. But your actual muscles will remain weak and soft. To get stronger, you must lift the weight yourself. To become fluent, you must create the sentences yourself. Your brain must sweat a little bit. When you sit alone in your room and try to speak, it feels hard. You stumble over your words. You pause. You make mistakes. You think this means you are failing. Listen to me very carefully right now. That struggle is not a failure. That uncomfortable feeling is the exact feeling of progress. That is the sound of your brain connecting new wires. That is the athlete finally running on the track. We need to change your main goal today. Your goal is not to memorize 1,000 new words this month. Your goal is to make the words you already know move faster. You only need basic, simple words to have a great conversation. Native speakers do not use complicated vocabulary every single day. They use simple words, but they use them with instant speed. They do not panic when they forget a specific word. They simply find another easy way to explain it. They keep the ideas moving forward because their brain is trained to react quickly, not to translate slowly. So, stop looking for a magical shortcut today. Stop waiting for the day you feel 100% ready. You will never feel completely ready before you start. Action always comes first. Readiness and confidence come later as a beautiful reward. It is time to take your English out of the notebook. It is time to put your brain in the gym. So, how do we actually train this muscle? How do we build this instant speed at home? You do not need a complicated textbook for this. You need a simple daily system. We are going to build a 30-day solo speaking challenge. You will do this entirely by yourself. You will do this in the safety of your own room. Let us start with step 1. I call this the morning room description. Every single morning, you wake up, you usually grab your phone immediately. You check your messages in your native language. Your brain instantly locks into your native language for the day. We are going to break that habit starting tomorrow. Before you touch your phone, you will sit up in bed, you will look around your room, and you will describe exactly what you see out loud. Do not think about it. Just speak. The window is open. The sky is blue today. My shoes are on the floor. I need a cup of coffee. The room is a little cold. It sounds almost too simple, doesn't it? It sounds like a game for a small child, but something incredible is happening inside your brain. In those first 5 minutes of the day, you are completely bypassing the translator. You are attaching English words directly to real physical objects. You are not translating the word shoe from your language. You are looking at the actual shoe and saying the English word. This builds instant mental reaction. Do not worry about making a beautiful sentence. Do not worry if the grammar is perfectly correct. Just make the words leave your mouth. Once you master the morning, we move to step 2. Step 2 happens at the very end of your day. I call this the 3-question evening routine. Most learners try to have imaginary conversations in their heads, but they do it silently. Silent practice is a trap. It feels easy because you never have to actually pronounce the words. Tonight, you will close your bedroom door. You will speak out loud to the empty room. You will ask yourself 3 simple questions. Question 1, what happened today? Question 2, what did I learn today? Question 3, what will I do tomorrow? Now, here is the most important rule of this entire system. You cannot write your answers down. You cannot prepare a script. You cannot check a dictionary. You must answer them out loud in real time. If your answer is very short, that is completely fine. Today, I went to the office. I was very busy. I ate chicken for lunch. I learned how to use a new software. Tomorrow, I will relax and watch a movie. Do you see how simple that is? You are using A2 level vocabulary. You are using basic past and future tenses. But you are actually speaking. You are building a real story in real time. When you do this every single evening, the distance between your brain and your mouth gets shorter. Day by day, the heavy translation process begins to disappear. One day, you will be standing in a real room. A real person will ask you, "How was your day?" And instead of freezing in panic, your brain will smile. Your brain will say, "I have answered this question 30 times before." The words will flow out of your mouth automatically. You will not translate. You will just speak. This is how you build a solid daily foundation. But to become truly fluent, we need to push you even further. We need to teach you how to survive when you forget a word. Are you ready for the next level? You are in a real conversation. Everything is going very well. Then suddenly it happens. You forget one specific word. What do you do next? Most English learners completely panic. They treat the missing word like a massive emergency. They stop talking entirely. They apologize for their bad English. The conversation dies instantly. This is a huge mistake. Native speakers forget words every single day, but they never panic. They never stop the conversation. They simply drive around the obstacle. If they forget a word, they explain the idea instead. Suppose you forget the word helicopter. Does the conversation have to end? Of course not. You can say, the machine that flies in the sky. You can say, the plane with big blades on top. Is it the perfect vocabulary? No. Did the other person understand you? Yes. Communication survives. The idea keeps moving forward. This is the true definition of fluency. Fluency is not knowing every word in the dictionary. Fluency is keeping the idea moving when you get stuck. So, how do we practice this survival skill at home? We use step 3 of our daily system. I call this the random object drill. This exercise trains your pure reaction speed. In real life, nobody gives you 10 seconds to prepare. Someone asks a question, and you must react instantly. Here is exactly how you practice this alone. Look around your room right now. Pick one random physical object. Maybe it is a water bottle. Maybe it is a simple wooden chair. Look at the object and immediately say 5 sentences about it. Do not stop. Do not think. Just speak. This is a brown wooden chair. I bought it 2 years ago. I sit here when I work. It is not very comfortable. I should probably buy a new one. It is extremely basic. But you are doing something incredibly powerful. You are practicing the hardest part of speaking. You are practicing how to start. Most people are not afraid of the English language. They are just deeply afraid of the very first sentence. Once the first sentence comes out, the second one is easier. The third sentence is much easier than the second. Momentum is your best friend. When you do this drill every day, your brain learns to jump. Your brain learns to react instantly to any situation. You stop searching for perfect sentences. You start chasing complete thoughts. Your listener wants your idea, not your perfect grammar. Remember, language was never invented to impress people. Language was invented to connect people. When you make connection your main goal, the fear disappears. People always ask me how long they should practice. They want a magical number like 30 minutes or 2 hours, but they are asking the completely wrong question. The better question is, can I practice again tomorrow? Language works exactly like brushing your teeth. You do not brush your teeth for 3 hours on Saturday. You brush them for 2 minutes every single day. Small, consistent actions repeat over time. They seem invisible at first, but one day the results become impossible to ignore. But we have one more crucial step in our framework. We need to make the language feel like it belongs to you. We need to stop borrowing other people's words. We need to make your English completely personal. If you are ready for the final step of the system, have you ever learned a new English phrase? You practice it a few times, but when you try to use it, it feels wrong. It feels like a borrowed piece of clothing. It does not feel like your true voice. This is a very common problem. It happens because you are constantly chasing new material. Every day you find a new YouTube video. You download a new podcast episode. You open a brand new textbook chapter. You are always looking for something new. But true growth comes from going deeper. Growth does not come from going wider. If one short story has 20 useful expressions, why read 100 new stories? You should master the first one completely. That creates real ownership. Repetition makes the words automatic. This brings us to step 4 of our system. I call this identity shadowing. Many teachers tell you to repeat after native speakers. They tell you to copy their exact words. They want you to become a perfect echo. But you are not a robot. You are a human being with your own life. Do not become an echo. Become a musician. A musician learns another person's song, but eventually they play the music their own way. The rhythm becomes natural. The emotion becomes genuine. Your English needs to feel exactly like that. Here is how you practice this alone. Find a short 2-minute story in English. Listen to it one time. Do not immediately try to repeat every sentence. Instead, close your eyes. Imagine you are the main speaker. Now, tell the exact same story out loud. But use your own simple English words. Do not use their identical words. More importantly, change the details to fit your life. Maybe the original speaker got lost in London, but you have never been to London. So, change the story immediately. Pretend you got lost in your own city. Pretend you missed the wrong bus near your house. The specific details do not matter at all. The act of speaking is what truly matters. This forces your brain to completely change modes. Your brain stops trying to blindly memorize. Your brain starts living inside the language. You are creating instead of copying. Creation is where real fluency finally begins. When you do this over a few days, something fascinating happens. The English sentences stop feeling borrowed. They start feeling like they belong to you. That is how a foreign language becomes part of your identity. There is one more powerful habit for true ownership. At the end of every day, ask yourself one question. What sentence did I wish I knew today? Maybe you wanted to tell a coworker you were exhausted. Maybe you wanted to describe a funny experience. That finds that specific sentence. Learn it today, use it tomorrow. This is how vocabulary becomes completely personal. You do not learn it from page 40 of a textbook. You learn it because your real life needed it. The brain remembers useful information instantly. The brain quickly forgets random textbook information. Finally, you must become your own teacher. I want you to start recording your own voice. I know many people hate hearing their own voice. I hated it too in the beginning. The first time you listen, it feels very uncomfortable. But discomfort is often excellent feedback. Record yourself talking for just 2 minutes, then wait a few hours and listen.